Thank you for joining us for our very first edition of UBC News Tonight. With me, Moureen Babirye, on this 16th of August 2026. These are our reports tonight. President Yoweri Museveni has hosted two young Ugandan military officers who recently graduated from the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, in the United Kingdom. The president received the officers, including his grandson Ruhamia, and congratulated them upon joining the Uganda People's Defence Forces. Museveni welcomed Ruhamia and his colleague Bachida to the UPDF after successfully completing their military training at Sandhurst. The president described military service as a strong foundation for young people, encouraging the new officers to serve Uganda with discipline, commitment and responsibility. He also congratulated the parents of the two officers for supporting their children through their education and military training. The meeting brought together the president and the two newly commissioned officers as they begin their careers in the UPDF. The president also thanked God for what he described as continued protection and progress for Uganda, as well as the achievements of the NRM and its precursors over the years. The Parliament of Uganda has resumed public education outreach programs to educate Ugandans on the role of Parliament and their representatives. The program, which is expected to cover all regions and districts of Uganda, has started with Greater Kibale, which include Kakumiro, Kagadi and Kibale. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Anabanja, launched the programs today in Kakumiro Town Council.
The Parliament Public Education Outreach Program was started by the Right Honourable Rebecca Kadaga at a time when she was the Speaker of Parliament. The program was designed to educate Ugandans the role of Parliament and their representatives. Today, Parliament resumed this program with Greater Kibale in the districts of Kakumiro, Kibale and Kagadi. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Anabanja, launched the program today in Kakumiro Town Council.
And I believe we are going to learn a lot about the role of Parliament of Uganda in service delivery.
Nabanja, who is also Kakumiro Woman Member of Parliament, said the Parliament Public Education Outreach Program will bring closer Parliament to the people.
They bring Parliament closer to the people. It is meant to serve. It is through outreaches like this one that we have been able to bring the office of the Prime Minister closer to the people of Uganda. As a result, Ugandans now understand the role of the office of the Prime Minister better than before. Therefore, this outreach is a step in the right direction towards enabling Ugandans to understand the Parliament and its roles better. Ebintu obundi betugula tukola tibiri byaitu ekikusooka representation engabwa representation. During this outreach, you will learn more about these roles and the functions of Parliament.
The Prime Minister also handed over motorcycles, commonly known as tukutukus, to be used for garbage collection in Kakumiro and Greater Kibale.
The purpose of these tukutuku is to collect garbage in those town councils. Kakumiro is lucky we have so many town councils and town centers which are so busy. Like Mwitanzige, they have been suffering with garbage. The population is too high, and Katikara and Kisengwe, but others are town councils. Out of the 300 million I was given, I decided, because for me, I have vehicles, I decided to support my people to collect garbage. We don't want garbage in my district. They are going to use them daily. They are also going to use them during the National Cleaning Days. And I want to request that they shouldn't use them for other purposes.
She later met locals from Kisita sub-county at her constituency home in Kakumiro.
We need a seed school for the sub-county. We need cough seedling in every season. We need piped water supply in Chob Parish. We need in Chob Parish, Bohonda Parish, Nyamiram Parish, Chakapere Parish. We need the Mawa classrooms in Rwentuha Primary School.
The Prime Minister promised to work on their needs, especially the roads and other social services.
Atulio tukurwana kuro rugudo rukuruga Narweyo, kuija Kisita, kuija Nkoko, kuija Kakumiro, kuruga Nkoko, kugenda Antwetwe, Masode, no kuruga Ubuhonda. Yes, nkubisetinga. Buhonda kugenda paka Bukwiri ebe kolati.
The Minister for Local Government, Balam Bargahara, has initiated sensitization of locals in line with the recently issued guidelines regulating the consumption of alcohol, mainly while in Chiliandongo district. Residents have welcomed the move, although many have expressed discomfort with the manner how security operatives have moved in to enforce the directives.
On Tuesday, 11th August 2026, the Minister for Local Government, Balam Bargahara, issued guidelines regulating the sale and consumption of alcohol and local brews. In the new guidelines, the alcohol sold to the underage was restricted as well as limiting its consumption during working days. To avoid misinterpretation, the Minister for Local Government, Balam Bargahara, has initiated sensitization drives, especially for concerned parties.
Up to the next morning.
While at Wayari Trading Center in Kianoma District, Balam has engaged with local brew sellers and consumers.
Weekends, okay. Weekend you want to drink from what time? From morning? From morning at 6.
Most of them have welcomed the government's move of regulating the consumption hours.
As a group chairman, your proposal of 3 p.m., I will go by that because it assists other people from not overdrinking. Because now when you start drinking very early in the morning until the working day, then you will lose.
We have boys, youngers like me, they don't want to work. Very early in the morning, they're drinking. Where are they getting money from? At least at 3, we know someone has been in the gardens, that's someplace, whether small, you eat something, or where you have cows, you make them feed well.
It is very okay to start at that very time. At 3 is okay.
Now when I'm there on my
3 is okay, because even me,
I don't know.
I do construction work. So at least in the morning I have to go and look.
However, the move has on the other hand attracted questions, especially about what could be the possible penalties for those members of the general public who will contravene the said guidelines.
I'm just asking this. Now, when are they starting this? When are we starting?
When do you want us to start?
Maybe in 2 weeks to come. At least 2 weeks, yeah.
I wanted to know what penalties are there, so that when I'm going for it, I should be ready. So that if it is very tough, I should be careful.
The Kiandongo residents have, however, complained about the manner in which the local police teams have decided to implement the government regulations.
So, what we Kiandongo security guys, iko mbaya sana, iko after money.
Watu yetu yanavaa uniform, watakuja watakamata mimi kama hapa niko kuuza, na mimi niko kukaa tu nyumbani kungoja watu yangu. Hiyo watu vile wako na ruhusa ya kuja kusanya mimi kama na sasa viti yangu hiyo asubuhi.
Hapana. Watu gani huyo?
Wa polisi yetu hizi.
Huyo anafanyanga usiku, alikuwa siku ya 6. Iko weekend. Polisi nakuja zoa undu na watu wengine 3 mpaka Kiliandongo. Kutoka mtwalo 5. Hiyo kitu alifanyikana, walitoa huyu.
According to the local government minister, it is high time the country regulates the sale and consumption of alcohol. Short of that, the economy will miss the productivity of its strongest workforce, especially the youth.
and in their parliament they have passed, they have seconded my idea that drinking should be from 3 p.m. on working days. Then I should let them enjoy on weekend as much as they wish. Then I also want to ask these young people who are always doing betting in the morning, can they do betting in the afternoon so that they work to increase on productivity? So that is why I'm Chiandong.
Robert Nyangi, UBC News.
The number of district officials arrested in Budaka district over corruption-related allegations has risen to 13 following the arrest of the district engineer and his assistant over alleged mismanagement of funds meant for road rehabilitation. The two were arrested on the orders of the Minister of State for Local Government, Justin Namere, after they reportedly failed to account for funds spent on rehabilitation of roads that have remained in poor condition for more than a decade. Some of the roads were reportedly only worked on after officials learnt that the minister was due to visit the district as part of the corruption crackdown. Minister of State for Local Government Justin Namere has camped in Budaka district for 3 days as part of a corruption crackdown campaign following the presidential directive to intensify efforts to combat corruption.
And I thank His Excellency the President that took time to give us a special assignment. He gave a directive that we should go to 6 districts, Budaka being one of them.
The campaign has so far led to the arrest of 13 officials facing corruption allegations who have been handed over to police for further investigations.
The district health officer is under arrest. The DEO is under arrest. The district engineer under arrest because everybody is doing what they want.
Among those arrested are the district engineer and his assistant, who were nabbed during the anti-corruption campaign after allegedly failing to account for funds allocated to roads that have remained in poor condition for more than a decade.
The accountability report, they have already used 100 million just for mechanical impressed. But then most of the roads, the big roads, are not yet done, or the roads where they apparently used most of the money are not yet done. So in the first place, if most of the roads are not yet done, then what was the 100 million for mechanical impressed for?
The poor condition of the roads has angered community members who have called on the government to take stronger action against the suspects.
Some of the
roads were reportedly only worked on after officials learnt that the minister was due to visit the district as part of the crackdown on corruption.
You cannot have a 6.6 kilometer road going for 102 million when there is even no maram, just grading and compacting, and even then you start it after the night when the minister is in your area.
The district education officer, the head teacher of Iki Senior Secondary School, and 2 teachers were also among those arrested during the campaign. The district education officer was arrested over alleged negligence of duty after the head teacher reportedly barred more than 70 students from sitting their mock examinations because they'd not paid the 40,000 shilling mock examination fee.
The candidates in S4 and S6, many were denied the mock exam because they could not pay 65,000, 40 for the fees and 25,000 for the mock exam. And it's so unfortunate that even those who are able to pay the 40,000 of the school fees, as long as they didn't afford the 25,000 of mocks, they could not sit the exam.
The 2 teachers who returned to the school after learning that the minister was visiting were arrested for allegedly absconding from duty while continuing to receive enhanced government salaries.
You have seen children of sciences in senior 6. A child is telling you the teacher who is supposed to teach us biology, chemistry has never appeared. The one teaching O levels is charging them personal. A government teacher telling students each of you has to pay 2,000. A class of 100 students, he lives with his 200,000. Charged. If you don't have it, get out of the class.
Their alleged absenteeism has severely affected students, particularly those studying science subjects.
We lost most of them before patriotism. Those patriotism things.
Teachers,
yeah, most teachers. Now when they heard that Mr. Baram is coming, Then they came that week and they were like, they started teaching us. But we had stopped lessons before patriotism. That's when we last saw teachers almost.
The district PDM focal person, community development officer, parish chief, and former PDM SACCO chairperson were also arrested after allegedly failing to explain how ghost beneficiaries came to appear on the list of PDM beneficiaries.
There are people getting money in the Petete parish, but they are not from that parish. You saw that there are names of people appearing twice. Somebody is stealing 2 million through an unsuspecting Ugandan. You see how they are trying to beat the system. It's only that we have our records from the Ministry of Local Government, from our PDM secretariats. They are the records that are helping us to do a double check.
Before the arrests, the minister conducted a by-election for the PDM chairperson and committee members in Petete Parish, where the initial election had been suspended due to irregularities and violence.
I tried to make an arrest, but I realized that my manpower was not enough, and I said that to ignore so that I can come back when I'm properly equipped with the manpower.
The district health officer, together with the in charge of Budaka Health Center 4, were also arrested for allegedly extorting money from patients and selling mama kits.
The women pay for the scan, they must pay for the ambulance 200,000 just to get them to Mbale. We know that there is no fuel to Mbale that is 200,000. I think even a special hire cannot charge you 200,000 to Mbale, but there is a government ambulance charging 200,000.
The minister also raided pharmacies in Budaka Town Council where government drugs are suspected to have been diverted for sale. Next week, the minister is expected to travel to Kwen district to continue the anti-corruption campaign. In other news, the Rwenzururu Kingdom is renewing its call for education and the power of the pen to help address conflicts and promote peaceful development in the Rwenzori region. The message draws from the history of the Rwenzururu movement, which emerged in the 1960s amid demands by communities in the Rwenzori Mountains for greater recognition and self-governance.
The Rwenzururu movement emerged in 1962 as a rebellion against Toro Kingdom, the supporters seeking greater autonomy for the Wakonzo and Bamba communities in the Rwenzori region. The conflict continued for years before the movement was formally recognized as a cultural institution in 2009, with Charles Wesley Mumbere installed as the Rwenzururu king. The kingdom now says education can help address some of the challenges that have historically contributed to conflict in the region by equipping communities with knowledge, skills and alternative ways of resolving differences. The call is linked to a 1982 message attributed to King Mumbere made as he descended from the mountains, emphasizing the importance of using the pen rather than a conflict to achieve change. Rwenzururu Prime Minister Right Honorable Kule Balitazale Benson says education should be used to promote dialogue and peaceful coexistence.
From the struggle of the gun, the struggle of the spears, and now turn to the struggle using the pen. So the pen was now the symbol and the means of negotiation, the symbol and the means of struggling for identity, the symbol and the means of assuring that we achieve what we want as a community.
Kule also welcomed government's award of 50 scholarship to the cultural institution, saying increased access to education will strengthen human capital in the region.
His Excellency the President accepted to give 50 scholarships per year, and this one is a way of promoting the pen, of promoting education in this region.
Kasese LOC5 chairperson Elifaz Muhindi Bukombi has urged parents to prioritize education, saying it remains important in shaping the future of the children and communities.
The number of institutions that they have collaborated with, that they have had a memorandum with, to ensure that the Banyarezo and Banyarezo will gain or attain this education. It is your right to have education.
Bokonzo County East Member of Parliament Dr. Mande Julius Lude Bwambale says education can also help communities address social and health challenges.
Education literacy has implication on health literacy. The more people get educated, the more people get to school, the more they will learn and work towards healthier communities.
Retired educationist Kulusum Mosh also called continued community efforts to keep children in school, particularly girls who remain vulnerable to dropping out.
As long as we embrace the idea of fighting using a pen, we shall reduce the rate of the girls being married when they are young. We shall reduce the rate of girls being pregnant when they are young. We shall reduce the rate of poverty in our families.
Winnie Narusiba reporting for UBC TV.
In other news, Arua Airfield is currently serving daily flights between Kampala and Arua, connecting West Nile to other parts of the country. However, leaders in the region say the facility needs to be upgraded into an international airport to unlock trade, tourism and investment opportunities, particularly given Arua's proximity to the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan.
Established in 1973, Arua Airfield has for years been used to transport passengers between Kampala and Arua, with several airlines operating flights on the route. Residents and leaders in West Nile have long called for its expansion into an international airport, saying the region's strategic location makes the facility important for cross-border trade and regional connectivity. In June this year, the African Development Bank approved a loan of 650 billion shillings towards the upgrading of Arua Airfield into an international airport. Speaking during the Thanksgiving ceremony of Arua Central Division MP Muzaidi Kemis at Arua Primary School grounds, chairperson of West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, Caps Hassan Fungaro, urged the government to expedite the project.
Arua International Airport has delayed up to today, yet we were promised a long time ago. Saying this message does not mean you are anti-NRM. Saying this message does not mean you are anti-Museveni. We need fairness and justice.
There was a time Parliament came and sat here. I think in 2014, I was one of the people who led the team to go and welcome the Right Honorable Kadaga from the airfield. We spoke about this matter right there from the airfield there of Arua. Members of Parliament toured the place, and there was a promise made there and then that there was going to be money for the proper construction of the airport. Now, several years down the road, nothing has happened. So there is no excitement. I'm not excited. I want to see a contractor here in Arua at work, doing the work.
Former Ivu East Division MP Geoffrey Feta says the airport will be an important catalyst for economic development in West Nile and Uganda at large.
For instance, for cargo from Mombasa, you would airlift the goods from Mombasa to Arua Airport. So the Congolese would come and pick his goods from here. We would save our road if we had such a facility. But if you load 200 tons or 100 tons on a 777 from Mombasa, in 2 hours' time, it would have landed here in Arua. That's how fast that airport will change things for us. We now have a regional immigration office here. Baggage alone comes with opportunities, hotels with opportunities, many opportunities really.
Arua City Mayor Lawrence Alionji says the planned airport should be utilized responsibly to maximize its contribution to the city's development.
Now my mother that sells vegetables must benefit from that airport. So we local leaders now need to think around, and also we, the local people, are not outgrown by development, but that we develop with them. So the task for us is that airport imparts the life of our common people and does locally contribute to the economy.
Arua Central Division MP Muzaidi Kemis pledged to continue engaging government on the progress of the project.
You know, we're the second poorest. If you work on the airport, it will be busy. The places like Adrico economic zone will develop. How many people are going to get employed? You get the point. So the airport, I will speak about it. Funga will speak about it. I have organized a matter of national importance about it. And the rest of my members here will come. I have collected data over it.
Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
The Parliamentary Committee on Health has directed the Ministry of Health to urgently address key challenges facing the health sector. Officials from the Ministry of Health were appearing before the committee, and some of the issues raised included understaffing in the health sector, emergency medical services, and issues surrounding medical interns. Take a look.
Officials from the Ministry of Health, led by the Minister for Health, Dr. Chris Baromsi, appeared before the Parliamentary Health Committee. The committee commended the Ministry of Health for important strides achieved, including timely detection and management of disease outbreaks.
So we appreciate your colleagues are doing work to expand the health infrastructure. The diagnostics are improving. I know you will tell us more. But we are seeing CT scans all over, which is very appreciable. And in terms of epidemic-prone diseases confirmation, we have seen the time has reduced. Very, very beautiful. It used to take many days during our times, but now it is just a matter of hours. Specialized health services, we are seeing you are improving, and there are new departments, the heart institutes, now you are doing renal transplants and the rest, which is very, very good progress the country is really doing, including your appropriate and timely management of disease outbreaks. That is my niche. I've worked in disease outbreaks for the last 14 years with World Health Organization. And seeing Uganda really performing the way you are doing, you appreciate. You are a force to reckon with in the region.
However, the Parliamentary Health Committee raised some of the key issues that the Minister of Health needs to address urgently. The areas pointed at include understaffing in the health sector, unreliable power supply in health facilities, stock out of essential medicines, and issues surrounding medical interns.
Honorable Minister, we were with you at the NRM caucus, where the President rose a number of concerns. And like we told you, for us we keep taking note. Any healthy issue that is risen. And the President rose almost similar concerns that I have stated. The persistent shortage of medicines in our health facilities, and he wondered whether it's an issue of undercosting of the supplies, or it is an issue of the drugs being stolen from our health facilities. I know you have a mechanism that you respond to His Excellency the President. The issue of absenteeism, and I think, if I may add on, some health workers coming late for duty.
And I appreciate the good things being done. I take note of the gaps, the challenges they are facing, with a view of having them fixed. And from my observation, some of the challenges require the center to fix. Others are managerial, where you need to take some administrative action. Where there is criminality, definitely, and it's obvious, we can arrest.
When you look at the structure of the health center for the current structure, it is like of a general hospital. The staff, the PHC, the medicines, everything is like for a general hospital. So right now, what Ministry of Health is saying is that we no longer talk about general hospital. We talk about community hospitals. So all constituencies that don't have health center force, that is our target, and we have already put in our request in finance to make sure that all, including Namisindwa, you are on our list and you are priority, and we are going to make sure that even the existing health center force that don't have infrastructure that really meet the hospital status, in the next loan we are getting, our target is to make sure we put more staff houses, the wards, the expand theater capacity, increase the store, and all the amenities included.
Recently, the Uganda Medical Association filed a case in the High Court accusing government of taking an inconsiderate decision to withdraw allowances for medical interns.
A doctor who is treating others, he's hungry. The allowances were meant for food, the best necessity, for accommodation, not for anything else, but for the best needs of them.
Honorable Minister, I want to emphasize that the issue of interns should not be underrated. It should not be underrated. I know you are handling it with care, but don't underrate it. Handle it to its logical satisfaction.
The Parliamentary Health Committee is tasked with legislative oversight, budgeting and policy reviews relating to health services. Adia Nakuti, UBC.
Thank you, Adia, for that report. Now, residents of Chijuguta and Bugomora in Nyanamo Town Council, Kisoro District, are demanding compensation for land they say was taken over for iron ore mining. The residents accuse Dajong Iron and Steel Industries Limited of taking over parts of their land without adequate compensation, raising concerns over their livelihoods and access to farmland.
For many families in the area, land is a major source of livelihood, supporting farming and other economic activities. The affected residents claim some of their land was allocated for mining without their consent, while others say they were either non-compensated or were offered alternative plots they consider inadequate. The dispute has created uncertainty among families who depend on the land for their daily livelihoods. During a visit to the affected areas, Deputy Resident District Commissioner Dan Kumwami said he identified cases where residents were cultivating land that had not been compensated for.
Engineer yagambe bizibu byuba kubona no mu bantu nimwe kandi bali babe nimwe mupora muri kitiko. So nawe yikiza ngo ifoko yubashishire ali kureba ko yakora ki okwija katesa nimwe ngukonkana mwe muri kubarega esente zitashemerire.
Site engineer Robert Mwembezi gave the company's position on the land acquisition and compensation claims.
Twashangaho some land disputes. Bali kubijire bakora compensation batangira. Then baja burden yabo nashi west yabo bajitika kai omataka gabanda. Bakaba batakani babanja $3,600 batugambira twaje it's okay. Let's start complying from there. Then twajira, even the community didn't have an access. Let's at least do an access for the community. That's the company that made this access.
The dispute also involves questions over land surveying and the boundaries of the areas affected by mining activities, including sections where iron ore is being extracted.
Still in the RDC in front of him, ninyenda kumubuza eji company neha mukama wayo no.
Ani milioni anamukaga alikusanya emitwalo 10. Abaye chizingene zo 7 milioni anamukaga emitwalo 10. Basi chachwa installment. Ya milioni 3.
The affected landowners are now calling for clear resolution on compensation, land boundaries, and access to the land on which their livelihoods depends. Winnie Nalusiba reporting for UBC TV.
In another development, parents in Nansana municipality are demanding for an end to alleged illegal fees in government-aided schools following reports that some pupils have been sent home for failing to make payments. The concerns have led to the arrest of 2 head teachers who are accused of collecting unauthorized fees from parents. They're being held at Nansana police station as investigations continue.
The arrests followed complaints raised by parents during a recent community baraza where they accused some government schools of charging fees and repeatedly sending pupils home over non-payment. Nansana Resident District Commissioner Charles Ranga has urged parents who paid the alleged illegal fees to report to police and provide evidence to support the investigations.
Who have been harassed by some teachers of Kazo Mixed Primary School and Kazo CU to go to police and record their statements because we need the evidence to consolidate these files. So either they are taken to RSA for perusal and advise or sanctioning. Without evidence at police,
authorities say evidence from parents will help investigators establish whether school administrators violated government regulations by demanding unauthorized payments.
One of the key issues that came up was the charges in fees or dues in government schools. We worked with the RDC's office to make sure we conduct investigation in this matter in the schools that were mentioned.
Nasana Town Clerk Festo Tandeka says the municipality is working to address challenges affecting education and improve service delivery in government schools.
Lwaki 5,000 situfuuke emitwalo 19 mu kakaaga kubanga waliwo okwekwasa nti the church founded schools ekituufu naye ate 5,000 zituuka zitya ku mitwalo 19 ekituufu.
The investigations will determine whether the arrested head teachers and other school administrators breached government regulations governing fees in government-aided schools.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima gukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
It starts here, before she can read and spell her own name. Every empty room is a question. Not what will they know, but what will they be able to do? A curriculum is the answer. A skill at a time. The creative, the builder, the developer whose work crosses borders. A skill learned here should work anywhere in the world. Get the curriculum right and a whole nation rises.
My name is Bernadette Nambika-Ruhanga. I'm the director of the National Curriculum Development Center. I'm inviting you all to the second International Curriculum Conference that is due to take place on the 20th and 21st of August 2026 at Speak Resort Munyonyo, where we are going to reimagine curriculum. And we shall be discussing matters related to a globalized future in as far as curriculum is concerned.
In Uganda, mornings don't begin with sunrise. They begin with courage. One man, one factory that has refused to stay silent. With one spark of courage, a chain of prosperity begins. When one Ugandan stands up, the nation moves. Pearl Bank. Grow. Prosper.
Attention! The Office of the Prime Minister warns of possible El Nino rains during the September to December 2026 rainy season. This may bring above normal rainfall, increasing risks of floods, landslides, damage to infrastructure, disease outbreaks, and loss of livelihoods. High-risk areas include flood-prone lowlands, urban centers with poor drainage, river catchments, wetlands, and mountainous regions. The public is advised to keep drainage channels clear. Avoid settling or farming in high-risk areas. Never cross flooded roads, bridges, or rivers. Avoid sheltering under trees during thunderstorms. Ensure children are accompanied to and from school. Store food and seeds on raised platforms. Move livestock to higher ground. Prepare emergency supplies including safe water, food and medicines. Stay alert to weather forecasts and early warnings, and evacuate early when advised. This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Welcome back from the break. UBC News Tonight continues. Now, Uganda is introducing new measures to improve the quality, accessibility, and relevance of education as the country continues to reform its curriculum. The measures include competency-based learning, revised curricula, technology, and artificial intelligence in education, as well as proposals to make learning more appropriate for young children.
In 2020, the National Curriculum Development Center rolled out the revised lower secondary curriculum, a competence-based learning approach which placed greater emphasis on practical skills, interaction, and learner-centered education. The center says the reforms were intended to equip learners with practical skills and knowledge that responded to changing demands of society and the job market.
There are new approaches on how we can integrate climate education in our delivery systems.
Similarly, the advanced level curriculum was also rolled out and was followed by a review of the primary school curriculum as part of efforts to improve learning across all levels. National Curriculum Development Center started engagement with the government on expanding ICT infrastructure to support digital learning and use of artificial intelligence. The center says the technology must be introduced in a way that does not widen the gap between learners with access to modern facilities and those in underserved facilities.
We have cases, of course, and general cases where access to technology is still a challenge. So we appreciate that the challenges are there, but the government has designed deliberate programs to provide those facilities to a number of our schools.
For early childhood education, NCDC is set to engage government to consider a lighter and more age-appropriate learning schedule for kindergarten learners with about 2 hours of learning a day. The proposal is intended to give children more time to play and interactive learning, which are important for their development. This will be backed up by a framework to regulate the distance young learners should travel to access schools in an effort to reduce the burden on children who trek long distances to schools.
And I believe as a country we need to start legislating on that. Where you find a parent is living in Gayaza, but he takes his child to study in Bulange. That is against the law. If you work in Gayaza, get a school around Gayaza, the law should be that don't send your child 5 kilometers out of your home.
The new measures will be among the issues discussed at the second International Conference on Curriculum Development, scheduled for August 20th, 2026.
NCDC will draw on the lessons, evidence, and innovations and recommendations emerging from the conference to strengthen our continuing work in curriculum development, implementation, review, and improvement.
More than 700 education stakeholders are expected to attend the conference under the theme Innovative Curriculum Approaches for Sustainable Education in a Globalized World. The conference will provide a platform to assess Uganda's curriculum reforms and explore new approaches to improve education and prepare learners for the future. Susan Naung and Michael Bakabulindi reporting for ABC TV.
Uganda's blood shortage burden remains high, with only 0.5% of the population donating blood for more than 46 million Ugandans. While launching a mega blood donation drive spearheaded by the India Association of Uganda, the Director General Health Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Charles Olaro, called for expanded blood donation campaigns and increased voluntary participation to save lives.
For patients with sickle cell anemia, cancer, accident victims, and mothers giving birth, blood is not simply medicine but a matter of life and death. Yet ensuring adequate blood supplies remains a major challenge. Only 0.5% of Ugandans donate blood, below the World Health Organization's recommended minimum of 1%.
The need is enormous. And that's why I'm just trying to change it on the other side a bit. That whereas we would want to work to collect more blood, I would also want that we work to see how do we prevent the need for more blood growing. Because we might be expanding our collection, but also the demand is what? Expanding. So how do we contribute? Because malaria is one of the biggest what? How do we contribute to reducing malaria? How do we continue reducing trauma in our roads?
The mega blood donation drive launched today targets collecting at least 25,000 units nationwide by September 15th. This is an Indian Association Uganda-led initiative which has been at the heart of conducting regular blood donation drives since 2012.
This year it is 80th independence of Indian independence, and also the 82nd birthday celebrations of His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So this year we are aimed to collect countrywide campaign with 25,000 units of blood, which is from 15th August to 15th September. With this blood donation drive, we will fetch the largest community who will be donating blood to the tune of 100,000 units. So far we have done 75,000 units.
School children contribute about 80% of collected blood, creating shortages when schools close.
When the schools go on holiday, we get a crisis. Okay, we go to the communities, but what we collect from the communities is not as bountiful as what we collect from schools. So that's why we need partners like the Indian Association that has come just in time to be able to bridge this gap.
Uganda collected about 460,000 blood units last year, but demand continues rising. With blood lifespan at 35 days, continuous donations are needed to replenish supplies and meet emergency needs.
We pledge to all the Indian community members to at least one cooperative members come with 1,000 units, so then we can able to do this 25,000 in shortest time.
Currently eligible blood donors are supposed to be between 17 years and 65 years and must be weighing at least 50 kilograms.
Last year we had a target of 11,000 units and we achieved 15,253. Our target is 25,000 and we are expecting much higher than what target is. With support and dedicated team of UBTS and Red Cross, will achieve this target.
The Indian Association Uganda has been also at the heart of assisting disabled. The heart and kidney transplant missions, with the 250 Ugandans awaiting to go for heart surgery in India.
We're only waiting for the Indian government to officially open the portal, and then there are over, I'm told, there are over 250 children who are waiting to go to India for heart surgery.
Crispus Adinitwe reporting for UBC.
The parish development model is changing livelihoods in Busia district, with beneficiaries investing government funds in productive ventures such as coffee and fish farming. NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa has, however, warned government officials against demanding money from PDM beneficiaries, saying such practices undermine the program and damage the image of government.
In Busia, PDM beneficiaries are using the funds to establish income-generating projects, with coffee farming emerging as one of the ventures attracting residents. One of the beneficiaries, Obano John Kubebeya, a professional teacher from Matofu village in Behenyi Parish, Masaba sub-county, has established a large coffee plantation using PDM support. Kubebeya says the project has improved his household income, with each harvest earning him about 3 million shillings.
President, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, for the PDM program. PDM has actually come in to help us. Very many people are receiving the money, and some of them have decided to join the coffee farming simply because they have already seen the demo farm that we have put up, and they feel if they can follow us up such that we make one team, after some time we shall be able to benefit out of all this coffee project.
He says coffee farming is increasingly being embraced by communities in Busia and is contributing to the district's economic transformation. However, Babirye says prolonged drought and inadequate financing remain major challenges for farmers.
Once we have a lot, we shall even be having people who can come straight to our village, willful souls, to come and buy coffee here. And when they come, it means we can be able to set a better price for them.
Busia District Production Officer Patrick Baraza says the district received about 19 million shillings under PDM. He acknowledges that some funds were initially misused, but says about 85% has since been put to the intended use.
But thereafter, after lots of sensitization, I'm glad to report that in the recent survey that was carried out by a planning unit, we were able to establish that out of every 100 farmers who received PDM funds, 85 put the funds to proper use.
NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa commended beneficiaries who have invested PDM funds in productive activities, particularly coffee farming.
We have started what we are calling the parish wealth creation mobilization barazas. Walinde sibalange political mobilization, economic mobilization.
Nekesa, however, warned government officials against soliciting money from beneficiaries, saying the practice undermines the purpose of PDM and tarnishes the image of government. Samia Bugwe, Central MP Richard Wanyama also commended government for introducing PDM, saying the program has created opportunities for communities to improve their livelihoods.
Billions at a project here, Kirisa. Nani sen Joko Legana and the production department and the chairperson, Oko Manyaban Sinda. Kuriti as a name was selecting of beneficiaries. It's called Obana. He qualifies.
Nekesa further called for investment in irrigation to help farmers maintain production during prolonged dry spells and maximize returns from agricultural projects. Benon Mukwaya, Muyingo Joseph, UBC.
Every life begins in a moment like this. Certain, planned, full of promise. For us, it's a bold ambition to make lives better. Because somewhere, someone is stepping into a world of work for the first time with the confidence that their retirement is taken care of. We make dreams possible. From owning homes to scaling businesses. And when health takes an unexpected turn, help is there when it's needed most. And because legacies matter, what people build does not end with them. It's passed on. We value moments with go-getters, bold dreamers and believers. Different paths, different rhythms, with one shared belief that financial freedom is within reach. For 40 years, we've made lives better and fueled Uganda's economy. Through careful investment, we have supported businesses, created jobs, and backed our nation. To us, it's more than saving. It's believing in effort, in patience, in possibility. It's making lives better. We believe in you, in us, and in Uganda.
NSSF, 40 years of making lives better.
The parent is Tuliahemwa Dixon. And the child is Ani Tuliahemwa Esther. Yeah! Oh,
kambera ngweri gwete kwa mugisha ngo ishe watujyayewa Esther wahangura school fees ngene na hategesha n'amashemerwa gonka MTN momo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta manana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees tokoma nyo mugisha zagwije wanje ninga nchaka ni kubasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
Alo.
Ese mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenunjiko.
Kitufu. Oyagala yabisenga bimeka.
Nga 3.
Ebeyi bagigambye.
Bangambye 5.
Deda 7 zali nyamuko.
Yidwaki.
Anti rangi je tusigisa ya mulembe. Anti nefali ya kitundu yalinya.
Musigisaji.
Global Paints.
Mutia.
Ku ceiling. Tukosa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukosa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kweta gawa bweru.
Wabweru tukosa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Owa. Kusiga je musiga. Ogwo mutindo okusasulira sente zonna.
Guli umite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back from the break. Now in business, manufacturing is increasingly becoming an important pillar of Uganda's economy, driving value addition, creating jobs and reducing dependence on imported products. With Uganda also expanding its industrial and tourism sectors, government is calling for greater investment in local production and quality standards to position Ugandan businesses for regional and global markets.
The growth of manufacturing is providing opportunities for value addition to Uganda's raw materials, creating employment and strengthening local supply chains. Government is now urging local manufacturers to take advantage of this growing economic environment by investing in quality, innovation, and modern production technologies. State Minister for ICT Alioni Odria pledged financial support to manufacturers through their respective line ministries to help them increase production and compete on the global market.
He has a task to give a comprehensive report on the market for manufacturers and producers and agricultural, those who are involved in agriculture, your products. We are going to produce for you a report in regard of government's commitment working with all of you.
The remarks were made during the 2026 Annual Business Excellence Awards in Kampala, where local businesses were recognized for excellence in production and service delivery. Kampala City Industries Limited was among the companies recognized, receiving the award for the best manufacturer and supplier of tissue products in Uganda. Kampala City General Manager Yala Kandamuri attributed the recognition to the continued confidence of customers in the company's products.
It is a great honor to be here tonight to receive this Business Excellence Award for our brand Silky, and this award belongs to our customers. Thank you for welcoming our brand Silky, Cozy, Softy and Cleano into your homes, offices and businesses and every day. Dear customers, your trust in our brands inspires us to keep going and keep improving. And this award belongs to our entire team. It reflects their hard work, passion and focus on delivering the quality products with a great service.
The Chief Operations Officer at Consumer Excellence Awards, Agnes Olowo, said the awards are intended to recognize businesses that have consistently maintained quality in their products and services.
Business Excellence Awards was designed or was put in place to recognize businesses that have done so well over the years. Here we look at quality of products, we look at visibility, we look at customer experience, we look at customer service, and among others. We want to thank the clients out there, we want to thank the customers. The reason why you participate in Business Excellence Awards is because the consumers are giving back to you.
Several hospitals were also recognized in different categories for excellence in service delivery.
Also, I want to appreciate Consumer Publications for recognizing TMI International Hospital as the best innovative entity in healthcare in Uganda.
And with that, the first edition of News Tonight comes to an end. Do join me at 10 p.m. for more news. I'm Moureen Babirye. Good evening.